I am me, Professor J. And you don't know we have the key to the treasury. Yeah, this one called the Grand Rising Mood, you know? Yeah, we're here to put names aside, because when they ask me, what's your name? I say it's unpronounced. Right? But if you want to put names or attachments, I have 1,000. So let's just talk about this universal frequency, that wind of change, you know. That's how we come to reason about natural intellect built into our DNA, right? You don't have to go to school. School is a training center, but your natural intellect written in your DNA, right? And we want to show that our thing is not just talk and say and quarrel or complain. Our thing is actual work. Indeed. Indeed. And for saying, because that's what run the world. Admiralty law, law of the seas. His Majesty are the Admiral, the Chief Admiral. No doubt. Right? So even your checks have a watermark on it. Check it out. So we're talking about this universal intellect, right? This new wind of change will hit the world and have the grand rising of ones and ones. That we're talking about. I will show you actual work, practical indeed, right? Set certain standard and seeking certain justice and equity. This is not only serious and it's not a joke. It's not just comedy, actual work. You know, so it's not just fun and games and comedy, you know, it's actual work, you know, because faith without work, you know. So I'm not here to lecture. So I have a reason about this new frequency and this new awakening in our intellect. From the ancient of days, right? And I show you it in its practical term and form. Because those of you who didn't know that, you know, we put certain things aside, right, to deal with something that we think have to keep the balance, you know, in our nation or in our tribe. Seeing? It's about this foreclosure, the battle in our community, right? To steal our hereditaments, right? Your hereditaments is, you know, your inheritance. In her, her inheritance, your heritage, you know? The sacred mother, seeing? That's what it's about, the knowledge of our sacred mothers. Yeah. And that is what's been stolen. There's a land grab. You know, whatever I bring forth is not just from reading or researching on internet. Some of it is in practical form. I mean, underground experience that we I share and a reason about, because some of you might not have known how some of these are handled, you know, and some of you have had, you know, losses and seizures and, you know, dispossessions and other devices like that. Right? So if you want to know what went on with the foreclosure, I did a video, the all white video, right? And I established some of those things. So I just want to easy, you know, that area and just reason about some other recent things and how it's happening, because most of you are experiencing that, I'm sure, the eviction, right? The evictions without warrants, right? evictions by summary judgment, eviction by lopsided courts, right? And you never get equal protection, no jurisdiction, no due process, no. From an intellectual level, I would compute that jurisdiction, like His Majesty say, is the foundation of American jurisprudence. Every judge, every liar know what I just said. Right? So without due process, you're causing injury to the United States of America. That can considered as treasonous act. You see, we don't know. When I ask nobody to school us on them things, I say natural intellect. So don't hate I for it, right? That's our reason, right? So that is it. So we have the right, because we're man up on the land, we're standing on right, you know. Not all of us have privileges. So that's, See? So we're standing on right, and there's a right for equal protection or equity. That's what we're for, justice and equity. That don't mean I don't want what you have, when I talk about equal rights and then we talk about equity, the balancing. See? Right? I don't want what you have. I just want what is rightfully mine. And that's how you project, declare, and establish what your right is, standing on your right. It's not just by complaining and cursing and, Yeah, the music is what's keeping us alive right now. It's a frequency, and it's all about what frequency you follow or which frequency you're on. Guys, it's all about universal frequency, what some people call spirituality. So we can speak and balance it, because you have to find truth for yourself. Man can only show you examples and things. This is examples indeed. So right where we're there right now, we could show you. I've gone for years saying I've been baffling back and forth in the court system, right? To kind of see if we can eke out some justice, to curtail, curb, right? And maybe cease some of these runaway foreclosures in our community which rob our people of their inheritance, of their hereditament, right? Without due process of law. I can run off things and things and things that are that are voidable, that are injurious, and just violations of even the state statutes. But we're not gonna serve time on that. We're just gonna speak in the form of how it valuable for even those who are up there on the lopsided whatever seem to be, and we down here complaining and cussing and don't realize that Uncle Bob say get up, stand up, cause just imagine that intellectually though, right? If Bob say emancipate yourself from mental slavery, right? And you would free your mind and realize, say, you can get up, stand up. Isn't it that different? Isn't it that different? So it's really to emancipate the mind. You see, we're not talking church and state, We're just a reason about the frequency, right? So we've been there baffling. We've been abused, kicked, tortured. That without equivocation. See, we experience it. We pay the price, so we are the living sacrifice. So when we are reason, it doesn't matter, we don't care about brown noises, right? We are telling you where the frequencies say, and we are telling you that we have proven it, right? Because we have reclaimed, right? With the intellect and knowing that the Most High grant us, right? That we have put certain things in the court in the system of the United States, wherever we will name there. No matter no matter what agency, department, or office, we name Dede. And we name Dede for, right, the benefit of balancing out this foreclosure debacle. That is theirs, it's not ours, right? Because we honestly, for honest discussion, right, we honestly gave you that promissory note in good faith, right? And certain deceptive languages in it and things that our attorney did not make us aware of, right? But yet and still we're the owner. It's our signature, it's our account, and it's our name and tag, right? So we're the beneficiary of it, right? And we know that when you all collect on that note, because a promissory note, and so when you collect at the federal window, you get par. That means to the 10th power. People don't know this. So you're very rich. You have enriched yourself of the deception and the violations of the natural law. And you've made a lot of our people homeless. and who is liable? Right? However, the First Amendment of the United States Constitution says we have a right to do petition for redress. Right? And a lot of times we have millions of people out there marching and protest. Yeah. The same enumeration say you have the right to protest. But they say you have the right to petition to get what you want. So no, all the millions of people marching, nobody has ever draft up a petition and say all I want to sign and send it to Congress. Maybe the balance would have been here already. But the awakening is good, right? Because I win that change. That's what His Majesty said. I say, Jado, His Majesty says there's a wind of change. All right. Right? And at that frequency, I follow. You know what I say? So that reason on the other side, yeah, the entertainment is good and a lot of people are that keep them, only inspiration and things like that. But I have traveled in the gutter and trenches on this foreclosure thing, and it's not gonna slip away from us, right? Because everyone is land grabbing and they've grabbed a lot of us, right? And I have made the claim in the United States court saying, so just get me summons. Saying summons and notice of pre-trial conference in an adversary proceeding. Saying United States Bankruptcy Court, you are summoned and required to submit a motion or answer to the complaint, which is a consolidated complaint. It's an estate, right? Saying Johnson Estate, saying the biggest estate in the world, because we are the biggest tribe, not true? Even if Johnson is on your mother birth certificate, yeah, right? And that estate has been set up, declared and established, saying we are looking at executive, but I know say I is a beneficiary of it and the whole estate tribe once you have the name, and what they call it, affiliation. Saying, but it's them type of work we are talking about, because these are the things that balance out lopsidedness. The only thing, not guns or bomb, His Majesty says a duel of wits, not by force, or, you know what I say? It's a duel of wits. So you have to understand the frequency that is playing you on the games, because everything is a game.